Level 1, the public defender. You show up for your first day at the county courthouse wearing a suit you can barely afford, carrying a briefcase full of optimism and a law degree that cost you $200,000. The supervising attorney hands you a stack of files 3 inches thick. Your caseload for the month: 63 clients. You have 30 days to meet them all, review their cases, negotiate with prosecutors, and prepare for trial if necessary. That's 8 hours per case if you work 24 hours a day without sleeping. You realize immediately that nobody here actually cares about justice. The prosecutors want convictions to pad their stats for when they run for DA. The judges want to clear their dockets before lunch. Your clients just want to go home. And you're the only thing standing between them and a system designed to process them like factory widgets. Your first client is a 19-year-old kid caught with marijuana. Small amount first offense. Should be a slap on the wrist. But the prosecutor offers a deal that includes jail time because the kid was arrested 3 blocks from a school. Zero tolerance zone. The kid takes the deal because he can't afford bail, and he's already been sitting in jail for 2 weeks waiting for you to show up. You tell yourself you saved him from something worse. You tell yourself that's a win. By your 3rd week, you stop reading the police reports carefully. There isn't time. You skim for the important parts: the charge, the evidence, the prior record. You meet clients in holding cells during 5-minute windows, where you explain their options in language they barely understand. Most of them are guilty of something. Not always what they're charged with, but something. They tell you stories that don't quite add up. They swear they were somewhere else. They blame friends who aren't in custody. They ask questions you can't answer because the system is too complicated to explain in 5 minutes to someone who didn't finish high school. You learn to spot the ones who are actually innocent. It's maybe 1 in 20. For them, you fight harder. You file motions. You demand evidence. You prepare for trial. The rest you process. Plea bargains, reduced sentences, probation instead of jail time. You're not defending people anymore. You're negotiating bulk discounts on punishment. But something else happens too. You start noticing patterns. The cops who always find drugs during traffic stops but never wear body cameras. The prosecutors who hide evidence until the day before trial. The judges who rule against defense motion so consistently you could predict their decisions before you file. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. And you're part of it. 6 months in, a senior defense attorney pulls you aside. Private practice guy who used to be a prosecutor. He tells you about a client. Drug dealer. Guilty as hell, but the search was illegal. The cop didn't have probable cause. Your colleague filed a motion to suppress the evidence. The prosecutor offered a deal. Drop the motion and his client gets probation. Fight the motion and they'll push for maximum sentencing. He took the deal. He tells you this like it's normal. Like trading constitutional rights for leniency is just part of the job. You realize he's right. It is normal. This is how everything works. You start making those trades too. Level 2, the plea mill attorney. You quit the public defender's office after 18 months. You can't survive on that salary while paying off student loans. You join a small firm that advertises on bus benches. We fight for you. Payment plans available. Call now. The partners make decent money. Not rich, but comfortable. They handle hundreds of cases a year. DUIs, drug possession, domestic violence, shoplifting, low-level crimes committed by people who have just enough money to hire a lawyer, but not enough to afford a good one. Your job is volume. The firm makes money by processing as many cases as possible with minimal effort. Meet the client, file standard motions, negotiate a plea deal, collect the fee. Most clients pay in installments. $2,000 total, $200 down, $100 per month. By the time they finish paying, they've forgotten what you actually did for them. Which is good, because what you did was almost nothing. You meet clients in the office. 15-minute consultations where you explain that fighting their case will cost more than they can afford and probably won't succeed anyway. The evidence is usually clear. They were caught. They confessed. There are witnesses. Your job isn't to win. Your job is to make them feel like someone is on their side while they accept a punishment that's slightly less severe than it could have been. You get good at reading people. The ones who will pay their bill, the ones who will ghost you after the first installment, the ones who will file bar complaints when they don't get the outcome they want. You learn to manage expectations. You never promise results. You speak in probabilities and possibilities. You might get probation. We could argue for a reduced charge. There's a chance the judge will be lenient. You're not lying exactly. You're just describing a range of outcomes that technically could happen, even if they probably won't. The firm has a working relationship with certain prosecutors, not corruption exactly, just familiarity. You know which prosecutors will negotiate and which ones won't. You know which judges are harsh on drug crimes and lenient on DU is. You use that knowledge to guide clients toward pleas they'll accept. Sometimes you wonder if you're actually helping anyone. Then the next client walks in and you stop wondering because there isn't time. Level 3, the insurance defense associate. A large firm recruits you after 2 years at the plea mill. They like your trial experience. Most young lawyers never see the inside of a courtroom. You've been in hundreds of times. The firm represents insurance companies, car accidents, slip and falls, workplace injuries. Someone gets hurt. They file a claim. Your job is to pay them as little as possible or ideally nothing at all. The cases are morally simple from your client's perspective. Every dollar paid out is a dollar lost. Your performance is measured by how much you save them. You learn insurance defense strategy. Delay everything. File motions to extend deadlines. Request continuances. Schedule depositions months out. The longer a case takes, the more desperate the plaintiff becomes. Medical bills pile up. They need money now. Eventually, they'll settle for less than their case is worth because they can't afford to wait. You depose injured people and look for inconsistencies. They said their back hurt immediately after the accident, but the emergency room report says they complained of neck pain first. You highlight that discrepancy in your brief. You suggest they're exaggerating their injuries, maybe lying entirely. Sometimes they are lying. Sometimes they're just confused because they were in a traumatic accident and can't remember every detail perfectly. You treat both situations the same. You develop a reputation as aggressive. That's a compliment in this field. You attend firm events where partners talk about crushing plaintiffs, about defending cases to verdict even when settlement would be cheaper because you need to send a message. You don't ask what message or to whom. You bill 2,200 hours a year. That's about 50 hours per week if you never take vacation. You take some vacation, which means some weeks you bill 60 or 70 hours. You arrive at the office at 7. You leave at 8. You work Saturdays. You check email on Sundays. Your friends from law school who went into corporate law work similar hours but make twice your salary. They're helping companies merge or go public. You're arguing about whether someone's herniated disc was caused by a car accident or a pre-existing condition. You win most of your cases, not because you're right, but because injured people represented by mediocre lawyers can't afford to fight insurance companies with unlimited resources. Level 4. The partner. They make you partner after 8 years. Your name goes on the letterhead. You get a percentage of the profits. You're making $400,000 a year. You have a house in the suburbs and a German car and a retirement account that will actually let you retire someday. You're also responsible for bringing in business now. You attend bar association events and chamber of commerce meetings. You play golf with corporate executives. You give seminars on employment law to human resources professionals. You're selling constantly. Every conversation is a potential client. You land a corporate client, mid-sized manufacturing company. They need employment advice. You help them fire people in ways that minimize litigation risk. You review their employee handbook and add arbitration clauses that prevent workers from suing in court. You defend them when workers file discrimination complaints. The complaints are usually valid. The supervisor really did make racist comments. The manager really did retaliate after the harassment report. Your job is to make it too expensive for the worker to prove it. You bury them in discovery requests. You depose everyone they've ever worked with. You file motions to dismiss, motions for summary judgment, motions to compel. Most cases settle. The worker gets maybe $30,000 after their lawyer takes a third. They sign an NDA. The supervisor keeps his job. You bill the company $150,000 for your services. They're happy. You save them from a potential six-figure judgment. You're working on a case when you get a call. Your father had a stroke. You fly home. He's in the hospital, partially paralyzed. He'll need months of rehabilitation. The insurance company denies part of the claim. They say the facility he needs isn't medically necessary. A cheaper option exists. You read the denial letter and recognize the language. It's the same strategy you use. Delay, minimize, deny. You hire a lawyer to fight it, someone from a small firm who handles these cases. He's competent but overworked. He's fighting a company with unlimited resources, just like the people you've spent 15 years burying. Your father eventually gets the care he needs, but only after 3 months of appeals and a threat to sue. You realize this is what you do to people. This exact thing. You've been on the wrong side for your entire career. Level 5, the sellout. You don't quit. You think about it. You imagine opening a practice helping people instead of corporations, representing workers instead of defending against them. You run the numbers. You'd take a 75% pay cut. Your kids are in private school. You have a mortgage. You have a lifestyle you've built over 20 years. You stay. You tell yourself the system needs good lawyers on both sides. You tell yourself you're just doing your job. You tell yourself everyone has to make a living. The rationalizations get easier with practice. You make partner meetings where younger associates are praised for their aggressive tactics. You see yourself in them, hungry, ambitious, not yet aware of what they're becoming. You could warn them. You don't. 25 years after graduating law school, you're exactly what you swore you'd never be. The job didn't change you. It just revealed who you were willing to become when the price was right. Every lawyer makes that calculation eventually. Some refuse the deal, most don't. You didn't. You could still change course. Walk away from the partnership, take the pay cut, rebuild a practice that doesn't require selling pieces of yourself in billable increments. Some lawyers do that. They hit their limit, cash out, start over defending the people they used to bury. But you probably won't. The inertia is too strong. The mortgage is too high. The identity is too established. You've spent 25 years becoming this person. Unbecoming takes more courage than you have left, so you'll stay. You'll keep billing hours and winning cases and attending partner meetings where everyone pretends the work has meaning beyond profit margins. You'll retire eventually with enough money to be comfortable and enough regrets to keep you awake some nights. Your kids will go to good colleges. Your grandkids will never know what you actually did for a living. Just that you were a lawyer, which sounds respectable. The system will continue without you. Someone younger and hungrier will take your cases. The machine doesn't need any particular person. It just needs people willing to operate it. That's the real corruption. Not the dramatic version with cash in envelopes and backroom deals. Just the quiet compromise repeated 1,000 times until you can't remember what you believed before you needed the paycheck.